Cozy, right? Here we are by the fire, taking a look at a game today that is an expansion, because we're all about games that bring us comfort, right? We're used to the base game, and that's what makes games with an expansion so fun, is because you're used to the base game, you love what they bring to the table, and then maybe this new version or this new expansion of that game is going to help elevate, or maybe it's something that you go, whoa, too much bloat, no more s'mores, right? It's too much, you know? And it bloats the game, you don't even want to play it with that, and you'll never play that expansion. Normally, I always ask the question, what is your favorite expansion? But today, and this is no bearing on what I'm going to say about this review, but I want to know from you, what is your least favorite expansion that you have played and you will never play again, because it just totally changes the game in the wrong direction, away from what it should be. So, today we're taking a look at Teotihuacan. Sure, you know, I'm from Alabama, so you can take that how you want. Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan? I don't know. Teotihuacan. That's what we call it at home. I don't care. I know I'm probably saying it wrong, and you're like, well, actually, it's Teotihuacan from the... Anyway, point being, game's hard to say. Game's fun to play, though, okay? So this is an expansion, the late pre-classic period. It adds a bunch of different modules that you can play all together or separately. So let's take a look and dive in and see what these modules add to the game right now. All right, so here's what comes in this expansion. There are 5 modules, basically, and they're all different. You have the Priest and Priestesses, Height of Development, Seasons of Progress, Architecture, and then Development. Basically, they change the game in several different ways. First of all, and my favorite of any kind of expansion is multiple or different player powers. So what's going to happen is you're going to gain 2 of these at the beginning of the game, 2 of these Priests and Priestesses. You'll choose one to keep. Now, all of them have a benefit, a power benefit, and then all of them have a detriment. So this one, immediately after claiming a mass discovery tile, advance on a temple track of your choice and gain a resource. This says you may never claim a non-mass discovery tile. So it's a give and take with Quetzalcoatl. Also, Cloud just summoned him in Final Fantasy VII. Tlaloc, it's a good guess. God of Rain, Lightning, and Thunder. So this one allows you, after paying the cost of cocoa as normal when resolving the main action of the forest, stone quarry, or gold deposits action boards, you may treat one unlocked worker belonging to another player as if it was your own. So it gives you a boosted number of die in place. When placing a builder on the pyramid tile, you must pay an additional resource of your choice. And I'm not going to read through all of them, but all of them give you bonuses, and all of them give you detriments. So this one says you may never choose to worship. When advancing onto a major temple step, you may never choose to claim one of the discovery tiles. So it's pretty tricky how you have to work some of these out, but they all have really great bonuses, and really some of them are kind of detrimental. But it's a nice little give and take to make the game different each time you play. And you can pause on these and see what you want to see. This one's during Ascension, choose 2 of the rewards. You can kind of pause and look through those if you want. Now, the other major thing that changes are these tiles right here. This one's not so different. This one just adds the orange pyramid, which we're going to talk about. You get a new pyramid in the game, which is an expanded board and a new temple. This is the Height of Development. So basically, you're getting this new orange track to go up. And essentially, when you hit these dots, you can claim one of the bonuses over here on the right, and there are more little wood tokens to show and denote which one you've already taken. But as you move up this track, you also put, an in-game scoring thing here. You get the points for going up the track. And you also claim these really nice benefits. So a lot of good benefits here. Add some variety into what you want to do. Also, any symbol. Now, obviously, this one is an orange temple, but any symbol that is all 3 on the worship track now lets you choose the orange one as well. You also have these 2 new player boards, not player boards, but these 2 new action boards for 7 and 8, which is for the decorations and tile building. It looks much more like the original, the other kind of spaces. So now everything is a grid where the amount of dice you put here and the number on the dice of your lowest one here. So everything is grid based now. The points and everything still stay the same. As you see over here, this is the points you get from building decorations. The points you get for pyramid levels are shown on here. So this is just a nice little player board to hold the pyramid tokens now and the decorations now, since they're not actually on here anymore, since you're on this grid-based system. But you also notice one of the new bonuses in the grid for building the pyramid spaces and the decorations is that you can unlock a dice, which is really great to be able to unlock a worker for free just by doing this action. So this one, if you go here with 2 dice and the smallest one's a 2, you get a discount of a gold. You place the thing out there, the decoration, and then you also get to unlock one. This is really nice. Same here with the pyramid. It just shows you, okay, so 1 die can now build on all 3 levels. And, you know, you kind of go across here. It shows you the cost over here. I like that because it simplifies and streamlines everything. The next advancement is the seasons of change, seasons of progress. These are different tokens that are going to happen at the beginning of every eclipse, and they're all beneficial stuff. So it changes the amount of points for the pyramid track. This one, count, you know, you go up 2 or something like that. Move 2 to 4 spaces instead of 1 to 3. And they're all in the instructions as well, but they're all nicely done. When you ascend, you can put your 1 on any space instead of just the first one. This one, that one's the only one that's really kind of tricky. I think that one's actually a negative. That one is do not count workers of your own color. No, that's not bad. Well, it's good and bad. You don't count workers of your own color when you land on a space, but you also don't count them for gaining cocoa. So good and bad. This one drops the cost of paying for 4s. Nice. This one, it says after advancing on one of the temples, blue, red, green, or orange, you may pay 2 cocoa to advance on a different temple. So all of these are just fantastic little bonuses that change each at the beginning of each round. So those are the major changes. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything out here. We got the renewed plans for beautifying, seasons of progress, the height of development, the new temple board, the new pyramid board, and the priest and priestesses. That is everything that comes in this expansion. A lot of great stuff. You'll hear the final thoughts here in a minute, but there are a lot of things that I would never not play with when it comes to this game. There are a couple that I could say, well, maybe not every time, but they're still very, very useful. But that is what comes in the late pre-classic period. So that's it. You get these different modules and you throw them in and you see how they play with the base game. Is it better to play with this than the base game? That's kind of the final question you're really wanting to hear as we kind of work our way through this review. Yes, I will play with this a lot, actually. If not every time, close to every time, definitely the player powers. I'm always going to play a game that everybody gets a personal player power. Now, what I really like and the interesting choice in this game was it's not just a personal player power, it's a personal player detriment too. So your power's really nice, but you get a negative side of it too. So it's a push and pull. I think that's smart to do when you're giving personal player powers, because you read the first part and you're like, I have to have this. This is going to be awesome. And then all of a sudden you go, but wait a minute, I got to pay extra cocoa. Makes it a little bit tougher. I like the push and pull decision of, okay, who am I going to choose? Who has the better Venn diagram of bonus versus detriment? You know, which one are we going to pick? So I really like that. I like the orange temple. I like the fact that you're adding an extra temple to move up. The little wooden monks are nice too. But I like the temple track because it gives you more options. I really like the refined building mechanics. I like that it's a grid now, that if you go here with 1, 2, or 3 dice and with this power number on it, you get to do these things. I think that's smart because it makes everything fit and feel much more like the original other spaces. And it's actually, to me, if you were going to teach this game, it'd be easier to teach it with this expansion, with those refined building spaces, both for the decorations and for the pyramid spaces, than it would be to not use it. That's just me, but I'm saying I think it's better to use those spaces every time you play. I also like the seasons tiles. You can't go wrong with the seasons because they're always good. They're always helpful. So the seasons tiles are something I'm always going to play with. Honestly, the only thing I might ever consider not playing with, just because it kind of sits over to the side and adds table space, is maybe the orange temple, but probably not because it's still pretty useful. So at the end of the day, this is one of those expansions that you need to get if you like the game. You need to play with it every time, especially those personal player powers. They're so good. They're so smooth. I love the push and pull and tug of war of, do I need to do all of this? So that's smart. Teotihuacan, the late pre-classic period, is a win for me. Go check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to let me know in the comments below what you think of your least favorite expansion. I'm Brian Drake here on the Dice Tower. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, etc. at Dice Tower Brian. Until next time, we'll see you.